Welcome everyone back to After Curfew Interviews with Kyle. This is an interview series where we interview small creators from anywhere from Twitch to YouTube to even small businesses. Today we have a special and I would say a friend of mine. Please welcome everybody, my friend and guest, Ninn0n. Ninn0n, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Ninn0n. I am a Minecraft YouTuber from the UK, but I spend most of my time now commentating on certain esports, mainly right now a Gran Turismo league, but I've also done Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege in the past. So, yeah, that's me. My main YouTube channel, which is just Ninn0n. I do Minecraft PvP videos, so on servers on PS4, and before I kind of took a break from that and YouTube as it's kept getting boring, I almost pushed to top 100 on the leaderboards for the CubeCraft server, but now I spend most of my time editing videos like highlights and such for an esports league run on Gran Turismo Sport. So that's me.
Okay. Well, pleasure having you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, well, if you follow our interview series, you may know that we like to start every interview, I guess, with a quote. And I think I've explained this 100 times, but I'm gonna explain it again. Quotes, in my opinion, are the greatest way to kind of conversate, as they show everyone's opinions and views. And I feel like quotes are like, yeah, again, best way to conversate. They speak a million words in so little. So with no further ado, I think we'll get right into our quote. Now, I'm notoriously known for not being able to find authors for quotes. And it's kind of become a problem, but now I've actually found a quote for today's interview. So I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of excited. Trust me, you're a very lucky man to be able to experience Kyle giving you a quote with an author. So
I thought he was gonna ask me for when I was panicking, when I was trying to think of ones. Like, I don't know any quotes.
No.
But I did come up with one which well, if you can
Okay.
figure one out, I had one.
Well, yeah, I have one. I always have one planned, but I got an author finally. But the author so I'll just read the quote and then I'll say the author. So the quote is, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." And the author is the Buddha. What is your outtake on this? What is your viewpoint on this?
I mean, yeah, a lot of people claim to be unhappy, but that's mainly because they will go and do stuff almost intentionally knowing that it's going to make them unhappy. And a good example, I mean, the first example that comes to my mind is, say, someone getting back with an ex that's cheated on them once, and then they go and cheat on them again, and they're upset about it. But you know they cheated once, they're gonna do it again. You set yourself up. It's like setting yourself up for failure.
Right. And I agree, and I mean, that's obviously something, but I think the way I look at it is that, and this has a lot to correlate with, like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So, like, how you get to where you are. So, like, happiness, it's what the Buddha is saying is, it's happiness, it's not a path to happiness. I guess getting to that point where you feel quote unquote happy is the happiness. That's what it really is. That's the context. So I really feel like that's what it's speaking. And honestly, I liked your view and how you explained like how you thought of what you thought of that, your viewpoint on that quote. So that was cool. Now let me get right into this. So I'm gonna pull up my questions here. Okay, so I have my questions now. Obviously, you talked a little bit about you're a Minecraft YouTuber. You do this, and obviously, I looked at your channel. You have a okay number of subscribers considering how long you've been doing it. I mean,
inconsistent uploads and just not really having the motivation is probably a reason why it's not as high as it could be.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's a big problem with a lot of people. You know, they lack motivation to really execute what they're trying to do. And but I mean, honestly, you've put together a decent fan base or community, I guess you could say. My main question
When I do
is,
stream, the ones that do come back, the ones that do come, they're always. But when say 5 streams in a row, it's just the same people and not even one new face, or say even some people you consider regulars just don't come back. It gets kind of disheartening, and you start wondering. Yes, they may be busy, but whilst you're thinking, you know, there's other reasons why they may be busy. They may be doing something. YouTube, their notification systems aren't the best, especially with small YouTubers. They may not have got notifications, but even knowing that, it still plays on my mind. It's like, what's the point? Even I know it sounds quite impatient and such, but it's still, even with all these factors, you know, are probably good reasons why they're not coming back or something. Say even if it's just for a day, it still is disheartening.
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, honestly, it is kind of tough when that's, you know, then you're not exactly even getting like the regulars. But I mean, you do have some regulars, and I want to know exactly what your content kind of started with and how you've progressed, I guess.
Well, God, I started YouTube for 2020, 4 years. Next month, I believe, I made my first upload. And coincidentally, where my channel actually is currently at now, that's also Minecraft PvP sort of survival games. My first video was a live stream with me and some of my schoolmates. I was a lispy 11-year-old with my braces, and I had my braces for about a month, and I sounded horrible. I sounded like I was spitting everywhere, and then my channel kind of was just anything, but it was mainly Minecraft, but then it moved on sort of Overwatch, and then Overwatch became, it generally just followed whatever my favourite game was at the time, and it would be, start off at Minecraft, me and my mates doing whatever. We would just stream for like hours, just on our world, building anything, just streaming us on Minecraft. There's no set thing, no set subject. It was just, we're gonna stream us doing us on Minecraft. And then it moved to sort of Overwatch and getting a bit more competitive, and that's where I've sort of got myself into first-person shooter games. So where most people started off with like COD and stuff, I started on Overwatch, and then that's kind of when I got a bit into commentating as well, because I started becoming a big esports fan, even though I was about 11 at the time. I then started commentating when I started about 12 on some amateur games that were just put together, and I really enjoyed it because I had a good understanding of the game. I may not have the best mechanical skill, but I had the game sense, so I knew what people were doing and why they were doing it, so I found that was quite helpful. So commentating was quite, I mean, I'm still doing it now because I love it, because it's like, I may not be the best player, but I understand why everyone's doing it, because I may not be able to have the best aim in the world, but I like to think I've got an above average game sense, so I know why people are doing it. So that's kind of where my channel went. Then I went to Fortnite briefly, and that's when my first real spike, when I got 100 subs. And for a brief period, I think it was December 2018, I gained like 60 subs, and then everyone left again. So like a brief period where I was getting 30 people on a stream and stuff playing Fortnite for like a brief period of like 2 weeks in a month. And then start of 2019, everyone went again, and I took a break from YouTube, and I wasn't really feeling it. Came back to Overwatch, and then about May time 2019 I picked up Rainbow Six Siege, and that's when I really started not just streaming but making videos as well. And I wasn't necessarily gaining the most subs. I wasn't gaining many subs, but Siege is where I like from my streams itself wasn't where I gained all of my subs. But when I started, me and my mates, we got really competitive, and last year, 2020, mid 2020 is when we started doing sort of amateur siege leagues and trying to do sort of the ESL tournaments and the Faceit tournaments, and doing like Discord leagues, and that's kind of where I really started off commentating, because I did the Overwatch, but it was only a few games in the past, and I was like, I've done it before, and I think it started off as one of the games needed a commentator, and I was like, I'll step in. I've done it before. I really enjoy it, so I'll give it a go. And the game went really well. People seemed to enjoy it, and then I started commentating more and more games, and then I just kept gaining subs from that because I was streaming the league matches. People would sub, knowing that I'd be the one hosting some matches. So that's kind of where a lot of my subs are from, and it's stuff like this, like changing different games over so many years and taking big breaks is why I've got so many what I call empty subs, which is just people that are sub but never come back because it's from years ago, like old school friends or something.
Yeah.
But Siege really was where it went, and then Siege just got boring. The game went downhill, and that's where we are today, really, with Minecraft.
Right. Well, I know you're doing extra commenting, and we'll get into that in a second. But I know that you've been absent on your Minecraft uploading and stuff like that for about a month now. Is there gonna be like a return to that Minecraft stuff, or?
Well, the account that I have my Microsoft account on, which allows me to access the servers, that got banned on PlayStation for a month, and it got unbanned yesterday. So sometime this week, there's probably going to be a comeback, but it may not be on Minecraft. It will depend, because a few things as well. Before I got banned, when I started the break, because I took the break for Christmas, came back, and 3 viewers. One was myself watching the chat, one was my partner, who was also modding the chat, and then there was one of my schoolmates. So for a whole 4-hour stream, no, like 3 viewers, and 2 of them, like one's an admin and one's yourself just watching the chat, so it's technically only one other person watching. I then tried the next day, and no one joined, and I just went, what's the point, took a break, and then when I was like feeling it, do I want to come back, some stuff then happened at the start of January, and then I went, I really cannot be bothered, I'm just gonna play with my friends and just take a bit of a break. Then my account got banned, and now last week the person that was my duo partner for PvP has now sold his PS4, so I can't play with him. So if I did make a return, it may just be solos Minecraft, but it may just be on a completely different game, or not PvP Minecraft.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I hear it. That's tough, but we're rooting for you here at the podcast, so we hope you'll possibly make a return. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think you should make a return. I mean, people seem to somewhat enjoy your stuff, and even if you don't have your duo partner, I mean, I feel like people would enjoy it. So, and it's up to you at the end of the day, so.
With my duo partner as well, he was a big motivation, because he would always ask me every day, do you want to stream? Do you want to stream? And a lot of the people that watched, I would say fans, but it seems kind of a bit egotistical, seeing I've only got 400 subs, but the regulars came to know him, and when he wasn't there or where he went, and I played with one of my other mates, they'd be asking where he was and stuff, so he kind of became linked with the channel, I guess, and people knew him. People were concerned when he wasn't there. They thought, say, he was something had happened to him or something, when it wasn't him playing. But yeah, it's a big knock saying that I've lost not only my duo partner, but he has been my mate for 4 years, and it's quite a big knock saying that he's not there anymore, really, to play with me.
Yeah. That's tough. Well, man, I mean, Yeah, that's tough, but I mean, I feel like you can power through it, and we believe in you. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, and then keep going, I guess. Um, Now let's talk a little bit about this commenting. Now, I know I have a general understanding of what you do with it. It's like esports and you comment on it, but could you give me more like an in-depth, like, I guess, tell me a little bit more about what this is really about, I guess.
Basically, all it is, you think you're sports commentators. So, didn't you? I think on one of your earlier podcasts, you did a video on Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So, wasn't it? So, it's basically just commentary like in the NFL or any other sports. So, but what I normally do is, like I say, I started off doing FPS, but I'm currently not only commentating but running a league on a game called Gran Turismo Sport, which is a PS4 exclusive, and it's a motorsport game basically. It's near enough a simulator, and I host the races and I commentate them. I've run the league, and it was about a month ago I sort of started up, and it grew really quickly. Most of the actual race streams have got over 100 views, which I find quite impressive. So we've only got 41 subs, so it means people outside of the actual channel itself are finding the races and watching it. And I've found with commentating, 'cause it's something I've always enjoyed, because my mates, like I said, playing competitive Siege in Discord leagues, my mates always thought, because I'd always be the captain and lead, they always thought I wanted to do something in esports. They always thought I wanted to be an esports player, but in my mind, and I've told them this, I'd rather be a commentator, because I know I'm not good enough to make it big and be on the big stage. But I do know I have the commentary skill and the mindset, sort of knowing what to do but can't necessarily do it, to be a commentator. And it's always a good outlet. It's people seem to enjoy it in the league. People really love it, and it's not like, I mean, with amateur leagues and Discord leagues, the commentary can be very boring, and people will compete in these leagues, and they don't really want to share it to their mates, or if they do share it to their mates, the people don't really want to watch because the commentary is so boring. It's a turn off, and I really just thought, well, I'll do one. I'll host a competitive league with fast guys, and I'll do some good commentary so people stick to it, and people seem to enjoy it and watch the whole race, and people seem to love it. And I find it's a good outlet, especially, say, if I've had a bad day. If it's race day, I'll get on, I'll commentate, and I feel better afterwards, because the people seem to have a lot of positivity around it. They seem to really enjoy it. There's a lot of positive feedback, and no one's said anything bad yet, and that could be them lying, I know that, but people genuinely seem to really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good luck with that. I honestly think it's quite cool. I mean, honestly, it seems pretty cool, and
It's quite a tricky skill, because
yeah,
a few
yeah.
people have said they think they would love to do something like it, but they've either got a stutter or something, or
Mm,
your voice is being streamed. You are commentating. You are telling everyone what's going on, and if you get
right.
something wrong, and I stutter all the time during it, but it's something that, well, the more I do it, the more I overcome it, and the less I stutter.
The better you get.
And you are effectively the face of the league, because when
Mm,
people think the league, they think of the person speaking it. Say, they will think of the drivers, they'll think of who hosts it. Like, the person that commentates any sport, whatever it is, they are the face of it. Say football over here in the UK, the Premier League. I'm not big on it, but people know who the commentators are, like the pundits, Roy Keane. When you think it's BT Sport football, you think Roy Keane, you think the pundits there. So they are really, whoever's the commentator, the pundit, the host, whoever it is, they are normally the face. They are the first thought when you think this certain sport or league.
mm. Yeah, I feel like commentator, and I totally agree. I mean, commentators are kind of like Yeah, I never actually thought about it like that. That's true, 'cause they are kind of the face of the league because that's what you hear. So, well, yeah, I
But
mean,
it also takes. It's a lot of pressure as well, because if you get something wrong, people
yeah,
people nowadays especially, they want perfection. If you make a mistake, there's a lot of pressure on you, and people won't like it if you say you get a name wrong or you get a position wrong. You make the wrong call, say you just cast the wrong thing, you say the wrong thing. People aren't gonna like it because you said the wrong thing, you got it wrong. Especially some people in the league, you pronounce their name wrong, they're gonna be furious because that's their name. That is their identity, basically. It's what you see. So there's a lot of pressure to not make mistakes, and that's what a lot of people. I know there's a lot of people would say, I would love to do that, but I just haven't got the confidence. And it's something that I'm not necessarily the most confident person, but it's something I just picked up and found natural, and it's something that I really grew to have confidence in. And hopefully people in my league, say if they get bored of actually racing and just want to go to commentating, they can still stay in, say, the league, but they can then move to commentating and have some confidence to try that. And it's kind of what's happened, because some people, because we have the different divisions, some people from one division will commentate with me on the other division, and it's sort of getting them into commentating. And you know, it's sort of not necessarily looked down upon, but it's not necessarily big. When you think sports, you don't necessarily always think of the commentators. They are the face of it, but when you think of the actual sport themselves, you will think of the players competing. Even though you do hear the voice, like I said, it is the face of the sport, but it's not the most talked about thing.
yeah,
So kind of making that more known, because it is the face of it. The commentary is the face of the action. It's what you're hearing. It's the voice. It say the halftime talks. It's the people doing the breakdowns of what's happened in, say, the first half or first quarter or whatever. They're the people doing the breakdown. They are the hosts, and it's nice to maybe get people into it a bit more, so they can get themselves out there. And maybe they've got a hidden talent they didn't know because they weren't confident enough of. But like I said, bringing people on to help me commentate with, it helps me improve because I've got someone to talk to, but also gives them a bit more confidence in their voice, and it could really help in their life as well, because you are speaking to a good 20 people at once, and it doesn't sound like much, but 20 people all listening in on you, it's a bit unnerving, but it's a really big confidence booster, and it's really helpful to some people.
yeah. And my last question here that I have, so obviously if you follow along with the interview series, you'll know that on After Curfew interviews with Kyle, we've become kind of like a mental health advocate. Ever since T came on in the first episode, ever since then, mental health has been a big thing, and we've advocated it, and we've expressed our feelings about it a lot. So with that being said, I guess I asked this with literally everyone. I guess, what are your views on how mental health has affected people through quarantine and lockdown?
So I mean, for the most part, being a kid and having all these social medias, especially here in the UK, we're in our third lockdown and we're still in it for a couple more weeks, and it's been said we may not come out until May. And
Wow.
it has taken a toll on some people. I mean, it's been nearly a year since we went into our first lockdown, and we're going to be in our third lockdown about the same time we went into our first. A lot of people aren't taking it too well, and it is hard to see some of your mates really struggling.
Yeah.
Because it is hard, you're not able to go out, and sometimes it can also ruin the only people you can talk to is your family, and seeing someone too much, even if it is your family, especially your parents, because you don't see your parents every day, because you sometimes you're at school or you're at work, and seeing them every day, not necessarily with myself but with other people, they can, especially if you're in a bad house as well and not everyone gets along before lockdown, it really doesn't help. And some people do contemplate hurting themselves or running away or something. And I've had friends who have got so stressed they have hurt themselves, not necessarily to the point of suicide, but self-harm, and it's sad to see. And I do my best I can. I have made it clear to my friends, I am there. You can talk to me, no, like, because I don't. If I'm upset, I'm upset, right?
Yeah.
But if my friends are upset, I don't want my friends hurting themselves, because I know I do have certain friends which are what you could say borderline depression. They're not really there. They're not really there with it. They are struggling sometimes, and they do contemplate hurting themselves. And some of them, it's always a thought in the back of their mind. And I've made clear to them, I'm always there. I will stay up, and I will talk to you, and I will make sure you don't hurt yourself, because I know you're gonna do it. Some of my friends have sent me pictures, so they know. So I know they're not just doing it for attention. And even if they are doing it for attention, I'd rather risk me wasting my time.
Yeah.
Then turns out me thinking, oh, they're doing it for attention, and they actually do go and hurt themselves pretty badly, because not everyone has someone to talk to, but that shouldn't be right. Everyone should have someone to talk to, but not everyone does, because some people do turn a blind eye to it, and everyone just calls it's like the boy who cried wolf. They'll just say that they're doing it for attention just because they don't like someone, or just because they're not getting the attention. So when someone actually does need the attention and does need the support, they turn a blind eye to it. But
Yeah.
I'm not like that. Even if you are faking it just for the attention, I'd rather waste my time than worrying what if it wasn't for attention and they have gone and hurt themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was really nice, and that was one of the better ones that we've heard so far. Honestly, it's been a pleasure having you on and speaking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, Mum.
Yeah. Well, everyone, if you are still listening and you enjoyed this interview, please go and like and subscribe to the channel. Also, go in the description and check out our friend Ninn0n here. He's hopefully gets back into Minecraft content. We don't know, but we'll see where he takes his content. But make sure you go subscribe, because he has some big things planned. We do too, so hey, maybe even subscribe to us. But
subscribe to this channel. Don't worry about me. You're listening to the podcast. You're not here for me, you're here for Kyle.
Thank you. Well, that's it for us for today. We'll see you next. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye.